Prime Minister, in his address to the nation on Independence Day, had highlighted 5 basic issues, which he said would be their agenda for the coming year. One of these is the unfinished agenda of the 3 core issues of the RSS BJP. That is, apart from abrogation of Article 370, apart from the construction of the temple at Ayodhya, the third core issue was the introduction of a uniform civil code. He, however, called this a secular civil code, claiming that so far we have been implementing a communal civil code. This is actually outrageous. For the last 78 years, a civil code that has been implemented in India that deals with our SCs and STs and other marginalized sections as well, and the rights that have been given, can hardly be called communal. Playing this communal card has now become something intrinsic to the Prime Minister. Out of 173 election speeches he gave in these last elections, 110 contained attacks on the Muslims. So it's part of his internalized thinking that communal and secular is the divide that they would like to perpetuate. But in any case, this is something that requires widespread consultations, including the Law Commission appointed by Mr. Modi himself on the last occasion, had said there was neither a need or a necessity for a uniform civil code in India today. Now, a widespread consultation is necessary, and any sort of an imposition would only lead to total chaos and disturbances all over the country, and this is something unacceptable. The other issue we dealt with was this pet favorite thing on one nation, one election. Now, the committee that was set up to examine this issue under the former President of India's chairmanship had said at least 4 constitutional amendments would be required. And constitutional amendment would need 2/3 of a majority in both the houses of the parliament. And some of them would also require the endorsement of the state assemblies. And that is the sort of numbers that the BJP does not have now. So this is again a propaganda drive, which is part of the election campaign. And even though the elections are over, the hangover continues. The third issue he was talking about was on women's security. It is outrageous again. It's been more than a year since these disturbances in Manipur had begun. Everyone in the country and the world had seen the way the modesty of women was outraged during this entire Manipur agitation and the ethnic clashes and disturbances. The Prime Minister did not pay a visit even once till now. Further, he heads a party which actually welcomes rapists, like in the case of Bilkis Banu, and they are garlanded and felicitated by the BJP workers. And this is a government that keeps giving parole to people like Ram Rahim, to Asaram, who have been convicted on charges of sexual harassment of women and girls. And now here he talks of women's protection. The hollowness is so obvious for everybody to see. Then, of course, the issue of corruption. We have seen the Hindenburg reports. We have seen the manner in which every single corruption allegation is sought to be covered up. We've seen the Rafale case earlier. We've seen now the electoral bonds issue, and even now that linkages between those who were the companies that were raided and then they donated to the BJP through the electoral bonds in order to protect themselves. All these cases have been in public domain, and yet talks of containing corruption. Again, a total mockery. And finally, he spoke about the Bangladesh situation, asking for safety and security of Hindus in Bangladesh. Correct? They must be secure. And President Yunus has been appealed to by all, not only the government of India, but all of us, many political parties like us as well, to ensure this. But the doublespeak will not carry the conviction that it ought to carry of the Prime Minister. Here, in our country, the hatred, the poisonous campaigns of hate and violence against the Muslims and the minorities are the ones that clearly show that our desire to have peace for Hindu minorities in Bangladesh must be accompanied by our practice of practicing equality for all in our own country, including religious minorities. And here, the record of the Modi government is very, very faulty and halting. So on all the five major issues that the Prime Minister raised in his nearly 100-minute long speech, you find that each one of these are hollow promises, and they are more of a rhetoric and for campaign than they mean business. So this has to be properly exposed. And this has not only to be exposed, but at the same time to be rejected by the people of India.
Stay ahead with our cutting-edge news app. Instantly access the latest shorts in just 1 minute and breaking news in just 50 words. Download now for a smarter, faster news experience.